Minimum of 1 year of customer service experience is required. And just like that, you give up on your dream of becoming a flight attendant because you never work in hospitality or flown a day in your life. But what if I tell you that you don't need that experience to get hired? I was that girl. I joined Emirates with zero customer service experience and previous cabin crew background. And today, I'll tell you how to do that. My name is Rubina, you're on the Just Dream Ginger channel, where we explore the skies, share aviation insights, and dive deep into the reality of cabin crew life. Today we are talking about your CV and what to do if you don't have the previous customer service experience that every airline's required, and what to write in your CV, at least to get invited into the open or assessment day. If you're ready, fasten your seatbelt, because we are flying right into it. You might be confused because honestly, almost every airline asks you for the previous customer service experience or previous cabin crew experience. And yes, they do that to choose the best candidates, and they want to make sure that you know how to communicate with people. But the reality is that you can join those airlines even without that experience. Becoming a flight attendant isn't one-size-fits-all journey. All airlines looking for personality, they're looking for the person who gets along easy with other people, and sometimes you don't need that experience, you just need to be a right person to get hired. And that's what happened to me, and that happened to many of my colleagues, because we're always chatting on board the aircraft like, what's your previous background? What did you do before Emirates? And to be fair, there are many people who didn't work even a day in the custom service related areas, and that's normal. But you need to mention something specific in your CV, at least to be invited to the open or assessment day, to get invitation, and you need to show the recruiter that you are the right person. And if it's not the day when you can just talk that without rights, you need to mention it in your CV. So let's get started. I think the best is to start from my personal journey, and as I said at the beginning of the video, I joined Emirates with a zero customer service experience, and actually before Emirates, I used to work as a journalist and as a producer in video production. If you're not new to this channel, you already heard this information before, but if you are the new one, I'll tell you once again. I never work with a customer directly in hospitality areas, but I used my skills and experience in my CV and in my open day, my final interview, to show the recruiter that I'm the right candidate. There are many options that you can use your skills and experience to show them it as well. For young applicants, for example, you never work a full-time job in your life, you just graduated from the high school or the university or the college, and you need to show something on your CV to prove that you are actually good at working with people. Have you led a school project, volunteer at events, maybe being a part of sport team, or balance studies with part-time work? Why did I mention all of that? All those experience already gave you an experience in teamwork, communication, and problem-solving experience. Everything you need to be successful in a cabin crew role. Or you already have a full-time job experience, but you want to switch the career. You don't have a hospitality experience, but you have an experience in other areas. Maybe you manage households or schedules. That's multitasking and organization. Have you traveled extensively? Because that's culture, experience, and awareness. Were you facing a customer face-to-face before? I'm not mentioning hotels, restaurants, and retail. Obviously, if you have that kind of experience, that's the best. That's what they're looking for. But have you ever worked with a customer before? Even if you lead the project and you had a customer there and you ever communicated with them, that's already an experience that they require. For example, my job as a journalist or producing video production. I didn't have a customer in a normal understanding of this world, but I actually did have them. For example, I will briefly say what was my responsibilities as a producer. I was leading the project, and I was making sure that customer Yes, I actually had a customer. So those people who were required the video and they bought the services of the company that I work for, I was directly communicated with them. As well, I was directly communicating with the team on shooting. So actually, I do have a communication skills, and I need to deal with people. I need to meet their needs. I need to understand them. And if something goes wrong, I need to know how to deal with that. And obviously, my customer should be satisfied at the end. So as you can see, you're not required to work in the retail or restaurant or hotel to have a customer service experience, because everywhere we have customers. Even if you work in the IT, you still have someone at the end of your task who required you to do that thing, and you might communicate with them to meet their needs. So let's turn your no experience in your superpower. First of all, that you can do is not to list your job chronologically, but put the most important at first, or rephrase some of your phrases, your experience, into something more suitable for this specific airline. There are many ways how you can write your CV. You can write it chronologically, or you can actually write it based on your skill that are more reliable to this specific role. If you still want to write it chronologically, you can do that, but you might rephrase some phrases that's gonna suit the values of the airlines more. First of all, search the values of the specific airlines, because every airline is different, and even the way they communicate might be slightly different, could be more classy or more energetic. So first of all, search everything about the airlines, and then try to understand what kind of way is better to write your CV. Should it be more formal or informal? Should you put more of your personality into it? So that's really important. But there are a few skills that you need to mention on your CV and show that you're good at them. First of all, communication. Talk about the time when you lead the team, help in the event organization, or even help with the problem solving. Basically, show that you know how to communicate with people. Second, customer service. Yes, even if you don't have a previous experience in the retail, you still need to show that you know how to deal with people. Even if it's volunteering or helping in your community, if you don't have an experience at all, you need to show that you know how to assist and how to work with others, that you're extremely helpful, and you're kind of empathetic person who can understand what other person needs without even being asked. And adaptability and problem solving. I would say that it's not the best idea to use the word problem in your resume, but it should be kind of underwritten in all your resume, that you know how to deal with difficult people, that you know how to adapt, and you know how to change the whole situation. Even if it's an unfortunate one, you know how to take the steps to change the end of the story. So at the end, those people should be happy. And you can use it not only while building your CV, but also on your final interview. Just keep all those qualities in mind, that you should be the right person who has all those skills. And then you can show the recruiter that you know how to work with people and you're the right candidate for this role. Use powerful language. Your CV and later on your speech and final interview should show your energy and passion. For example, don't just say work as a cashier. Say that you provided an excellent customer service experience to hundreds of customers daily, ensured positive experience even under the high pressure conditions. Don't just say that you enjoy traveling. Obviously you do. They know it. But that's not what they want to hear. You need to fake it until you make it, right? Instead of saying that you want to join this airline to travel the world, you want to say that you are so passionate about creating a memorable experience for passengers and making sure that they're comfortable throughout the journey of the flight, because that's what brings you joy, to feel that your works matter, that you can create that special, memorable experience for your customers. The difference is they don't really want you just to join this airline, the specific role to travel the world. They want to make sure that you actually enjoy interacting with people. You want to know more about the culture, new cultures, those people, their personalities. You see the difference. Airlines want some people that bring enthusiasm and not just list of duties. So in your CV, you need to highlight your transferable skills. If you're young and inexperienced, you just graduated, talk about your volunteer work, your part-time job, the time when you interacted with other people, the time when you use those skills, those empathetic skills, customer service skills, communication skills to resolve some issues. You need to put it into the positive way. You need to highlight those transferable skills that you had on your volunteer or part-time job to show those airlines that you're good with working with people. If you're switching careers, focus on those teamwork, organizational skills, customer-related skills, customer interaction, because for sure, even if you're not in retail or hospitality service, you still interacted with the customers, and you need to highlight in your CV those specific skills. And also some airlines actually allow you to add a cover letter to your application, and if they do, you can actually show not only your skills in your resume, but also why you're passionate about the customer related industry, because being a cabin crew is actually customer related role. So you can show why you are passionate about this role specifically and why you want to join this specific airline. Keep in mind that you don't want to travel the world, you want to interact with people. You want to experience other cultures. You are that enthusiastic, energetic, open-minded person, and you want to share your positivity with people around the world. And that was it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, because it gives me motivation to do more of such videos. And I believe I see you soon. Bye!